Ayo, what is going on? It's your boy X Joe with a brand new video, and as you guys can see, we have another tier list out in here, and this one is kind of inspired by the fact that we just got our final Prime Series 3, which I'm going to assume is the last one that we're going to be getting. So we went ahead and put together a tier list. We have all of the opals right here and all of the pink diamonds down here to kind of mix it up and make it fun. I also got rid of the E and F tier, but if we need to make a change because these are getting a little too crowded, we can always add, another lower tier. To make it easy. That's the fun thing about these tier lists in the new format, is I can do, whatever I want with them. But it is what it is. We're going to start off with the pink diamonds in this tier list and then move on to the opals, starting with obviously this Rajon Rondo card, who I actually think's pretty quality, not going to lie. But, he's a 6'1 PG that can play good defense, he can shoot, do everything really well, but I think they did not give him the ability to really dunk too well. So I think for that reason, we're going to have to throw Rondo up over here into the C tier. And of course, I made made these just a little bit too big for the area that they're supposed to go, so that's a little tough. But there we go. Next up, we have the pink diamond David Robinson, another little card who is good, but it's just missing that next little it factor, I think, that makes him click, makes him amazing. So I think I'm leaning towards moving him to C tier again, like the same with this Rajon Rondo card. I just feel like there's a little bit that David Robinson card is missing, that just isn't really tapped into, and I'm just not really feeling it. He can shoot three ball well, play some great defense, finish inside, post game, all that sort of well, but doesn't have a lot of off badges. He can shoot the three, but can't shoot it from deep like this Miles Turner card can, which is why we're gonna move him up into B tier. But still a good card and still a fun one to go ahead and use. So we're gonna throw Miles Turner up here, just a little bit above the like of Rajon Rondo and David Robinson, because I feel like Miles Turner just has that extra range extender ability that David Robinson doesn't have, but it's what it is. Next up, we have the pink diamond Joe Caldwell, another card I'm gonna throw into A tier, man. I'm feeling this Joe Caldwell card. I mean, base 98. How do you not love it? I mean, it's really, in my opinion, like one of the best, is the best base in the game. My favorite base is base 38, but I say it all the time. My favorite is 38, but the best easily has got to be 98. So Joe Caldwell, without any question, is making his way nice and easy up into the A tier, but we can't get the size how I want it, which is kind of annoying me, but there we go. We got Joe Caldwell up in A. Next up, we have pink diamond Eddie Curry, another card who I really like, and I really want to throw him into S, but I'm feeling something about Eddie Curry recently where I feel like his lack of off badges is kind of slowly bringing him down to A, but for me, he's still my starting center whenever I play games. So it's a little bit tough for me, but I think I'm going to go ahead and put Eddie Curry into the A tier. Subject to change. Maybe I'll see who we haven't had S and put him up higher, but I'm going to throw him into A. I feel like that's pretty fitting. It's pretty fine, so we're going to throw him in there. Next, we have George Morrison. I feel like is another story of David Robinson. It's a good center that can do a lot of things well, but he can't really shoot the three ball too great because his three is low, and he is so slow. So I think I'm gonna have to throw him C tier. George Morrison used to be the go to my 2K20 Myteam, but has eventually fallen. Next up, we have pink diamond Dino Raja. This one I did without even saying or thinking. Dino, for me, is probably one of the easiest cards to rank. Easy A tier. I love this Dino Raja card, but the fact that he doesn't have range extender really is what holds him back from being that S tier super top PG that we would wish him to be. Next up, we have pink diamond Kevin Durant, and I feel like he kind of fits in that middle B tier where he's a good card, like a really good card, and that's mainly because of animations, but his stats and badges really just don't make me feel amazing about him. I really don't see too many people using, this Kevin Durant card. He's pretty decent, but he's just, I feel like he's in that middle tier where he's almost, insane. Want to use him every time, but just not quite. Next up, we have pink diamond Andre Igudala. This one's another easy one for me. I think he's C tier. He's good, but he's a 6'6" small forward, power forward that really just, it's not ideal, and it's just not really something I want to mess with. Pink Diamond Russell Westbrook, another one like KD that I think we're just missing a little bit for him, so we're gonna have to throw him down to the B tier. The thing that hurts Russell Westbrook for me personally is the fact that all I want Westbrook to have is that Hoff quick draw. If Westbrook had Hoff quick draw, this would be such a different story, you know, because gold quick draw on his release is just so like annoyingly slow that I just can't deal with it. But you know, hopefully it eventually gets fixed. Next up, we have Pink Diamond Klay Thompson. I think another card that fits up into the you know, B tier. Solid card, can shoot the 3-ball well, as that nice Klay Thompson release. Some actually pretty good dribbling animations and good defense, but just isn't giving me that next level oomph to kind of throw him a little higher. Just mid in there, doing some good work, but nothing crazy. This Pink Diamond Jimmy Butler, this is one of the prime cards that I absolutely despise, that I'm not feeling ever. I hated him when he came out, and I still don't like him now. I don't care that he's a 6'8", you know, shooting guard that can shoot the 3-ball well, do all that sort of stuff. It's just, he's not great. Like, really, he's not great. Now, this Pink Diamond Shaq was a card, I think I threw him in the C tier when I did my Pink Diamonds list, and I feel like all of these guys are definitely, you know, C tier material. We got David Robinson, we got George Rason, but I feel like maybe I was a little bit preemptive on Shaq. Maybe I rated him a little bit too high, and I'm going to reflect that. We're going to throw him into D tier. I feel like he's going to be higher up on the D tier because there's other cards that we're going to have coming a little bit later that I think are going to be a lot lower in the D tier, but I do feel like Shaq definitely is a good center, but really only if you like those non-shooting, finish inside kind of bigs. So it is what it is. Next up, Pink Diamond Dwayne Wade. We're going to throw him into A tier. Dwayne Wade is kind of one of those cards that I always have ranked decently high. You know, I always have him, you know, around A to S. But this Pink Diamond D Wade, I really don't feel like is in that, you know, top tier, S tier. And that's because we do have an Opal Wade that is going to be coming later, who I think easily is going to be up in the S tier. But this Pink Diamond D Wade, definitely not bad at all. Super solid card. Definitely love him. Next up, Pink Diamond Walt Frazier, another card that I think is, you know, missing that next level umph. Kind of like Rajon Rondo is missing, you know, that dunking ability, that really good finishing ability. I think Walt Frazier is missing that range extender. That's the one thing that they didn't give Walt Frazier on this card, was range extender. And to be fair, I don't really think Walt Frazier was the most insane shooter in his day, if really shooting at all. But he does have an awesome release. I think base 81 is what it is, which is super nice, super awesome. But he doesn't have range extender, and at this point in the year, having a PG that just doesn't have any sort of range extender and is a little bit undersized at 6'4", it's not one that I can really recommend picking up, which sucks because I love the Walt Frazier card, but he's just he's past his prime. Next up, Pink Diamond Kristaps Porzingis, a card that I really wasn't even a fan of when he came out. I didn't really talk too highly of him, and I'm still not a fan of this, you know, Kristaps now. Even the Opal, I'm not the biggest of fans of, but this Pink Diamond is still not bad. I think I'm going to respectfully throw him into the B tier. I feel like he can be a great card. Not bad, but a little slow. The Michael Beasley jump shot in 7-footers and above this year just been So I think we're going to throw him into B. Kind of low rated. Next up, we have Pink Diamond Yao Ming, another one of those, you know, centers that dropped that I just feel like isn't really it. Can't shoot the 3-ball too great. He's, you know, tall, but he's super slow. Can't really run the floor very well. So I think C tier is pretty fitting for him. Next up, Pink Diamond Tracy McGrady. I think one of the few cards from the beginning, you know, Prime Series, like the Prime Series 1, that actually is still decent and can still be used to this day. And for that reason, we're going to throw him into B tier. I feel like this Tracy McGrady card is actually really solid, actually really decent, can do some work. Obviously, he's got the Treyberg base and everything pretty good. Not a lot of Hall of Fame badges, and I will reflect that he will be lower in the B tier. He's not going to be very high, but I do think if you're going to use any of the beginning Prime Series cards, you're going to have to use this T-Mac. We got D-Rose. I loved this D-Rose when he came out. I still think D-Rose is an amazing card, but I'm going to have to throw him D tier. I mean, he's got to get his ass down there because he's 6'3". He can't dunk he can dunk the greatest, but he's just 13 Hoff badges. It's just, it ain't it, man. Pink Diamond Tim Duncan, another card, easily getting his ass in D tier. I really just, I can't warrant him dunking being any higher. No range, can't speed boost, good defense, not the greatest of shooters. Really just ain't it. The same thing with Wilt Chamberlain, just doesn't have a lot of Hoff badges, doesn't have really any shooting ability, really just defense back to the basket, and is meh. Not really feeling him. And same with John Stockton. I actually did go against somebody recently who was still using the John Stockton, and he played some decent defense for a little bit, but he just could not score with the John Stockton at all. He just could not get buckets with him. Due definitely for an Opal soon, but even then, I don't think he's going to be too great. So John Stockton is going to have to find his way down to D tier. So far, we have 6 cards who have gotten their ass in D tier. Get down there. We don't need you. And now it's time to go on with the Opals. Starting off with this Galaxy Opal Andre Igudala, who I used yesterday in the gameplay. I'm not the biggest fan. If I'm being honest, I'm not the most massive fan of this Andre Igudala card. I feel like his release just isn't great at all, and I'm gonna throw him B. Kind of surprising. I feel like he's a higher end B or maybe low end A tier card, but I'm really not a fan. I'm like, at all, really not a fan of this Andre Iguodala card. Definitely not great, but could be worse. Galaxy Opal. There we go. Galaxy Opal, Carmelo Anthony. Love the fact that he can play small forward and shooting guard, but with this Carmelo, they did give him jump shot 55, not the Carmelo Anthony jump shot. Not a big fan of that, but I do think he is still an A tier card. Is really solid, really fun to use, and just overall, really good card. Honestly, I love Melo cards every single year. There's been a lot of hate because he can't shoot corner threes. I don't think it's too big of a deal, especially if you run him at the 2, but it is what it is. Because if you run a 5 out, with Melo at the 2, he's going to be sitting at the hash. He's not going to be in the corner. It's going to be fine. I really don't think it's too big of a deal. Next up, we have Galaxy Opal Chris Paul, and surprisingly enough, I did a gameplay on him as well. Check that out if you haven't. Chris Paul, in my opinion, is probably the best 6-foot guard that we got, and I'm going to reflect that. Throwing him up into B tier, we had somebody like Rajon Rondo, who his negative was the fact that he couldn't dunk. Chris Paul fixes that. He can dunk, he can shoot like crazy. He's a super, super nice guard, and we got to throw him into B tier. Honestly, debating throwing him into A, but we're gonna refrain, hold back a little bit, and just throw him into our wonderful little B tier. Galaxy Opal Dwayne Wade, we're throwing him into S. I said it earlier, this pink diamond D Wade, pretty good, but the Galaxy Opal Dwayne Wade definitely significantly better and finding his way into S tier. He's amazing. He's a great card. Honestly, love him. Galaxy Opal LeBron James, this one is so easy for me. S tier. The one thing that I've always said multiple times, and I've been super consistent about this with the LeBron James, is the one thing I've always hated is that LeBron James's layup package is absolutely butt cheeks. Like, it is horrid. Don't like it at all. And they changed it. This Galaxy Opal LeBron has the long athlete layup package, which in my opinion is the best, layup package of the game. And it means he's not going to do those dumb scoop layups where he gets sent to the 5th row, anything like that. This LeBron is godly, and if I'm being honest, it's the best LeBron we have in the game. It might be a little bit of a hot take because we have, the out of position LeBron. But this Opal LeBron is the best LeBron we have in the game. Pick him up, try him out, and you will definitely agree with me and not regret it at all. Next up, Galaxy Opal, Joel Embiid, easy A tier, nice release, can play awesome defense, can speed boost, but his dribbling animations are all, normal, typical big man jump, dribbling animations, ones that I really don't think are too amazing, and with that, I think I have to throw him A. Next up, we got George Gurbin, easy B tier card for me, just kind of like a different Nicholas Batum, and again, same thing as that out of position LeBron we were talking about, bad layup animations, they always get sent to the 5th row, and it's a little bit demoralizing when you have an open lane and you take some dumb layup and then they can get a chase down block on it, but is what it is. Still has that jump shot 40, still is a great guard. It just sucks that he has such a bad layup package. Next up, Galaxy Opal Pascal Siakam, a card that I've been pretty critical on because I'm not a big fan of his jump shot, but I will understand the fact that that's a personal bias that I have. I'm not a big fan of the jump shot, but I will say, when I did use his Pascal Siakam, he has some great dribbling animations. He can play some awesome defense. He can finish inside really well. The only thing that I really couldn't do too well with him was shoot. And I feel like if you're running with the 4, that's not too big of a deal. So I will throw him into the S tier. I think he's a really solid card. I don't think he's top tier S tier. I will say that. I do have, LeBron James easily above him, stuff like that. But Pascal still is a great card and is really, really solid. Next up, Galaxy Opal Gary Payton is a card that, if I'm being honest, I would throw equal with or not equal, but a little bit lower than the legs of this, pink diamond Dwayne Wade. Maybe, honestly, maybe even equal. I might stick with my original bold statement. I love this Gary Payton card, and I'm throwing him A tier. Gary Payton is the best 6'4" PG that you can pick up because he has a great release. He has awesome dunking. He can shoot the 3-ball crazy with that great release. He has awesome defense, really high strength, and good post defense. So even if people are running the taller PGs, he can actually hold his own. And I think he is a super slept on PG that is so cheap that you can actually pick up if you want a normal size PG that actually can hold his own against the legs of, Magic Johnson, stuff like that. I'm not going to say he's going to completely shut them down. But I'm saying he can contain them and still play, good defense against them. Next up, Galaxy Opal Kawhi Leonard. Another easy pick. If I didn't have this in S tier, I deserve to be shot. Like, come on. It's a Galaxy Opal Kawhi. We're throwing him in the S. He's a beautiful card that I think a lot of people need to show some love to. Like, Kawhi is just great. Next up, Galaxy Opal Shawn Kemp. A difficult one. I'm between A and B tier, but I think I'm going to throw him A. I like the Shawn Kemp card. The new jump shot makes him a really solid, overall beast. Great defense, great finishing ability. Everything about him is actually pretty nice, besides maybe the dribbling animations, some big man ones, but still a great card and definitely one that I recommend at least trying out and seeing for yourself. Next up, Galaxy Opal Victor Oladipo. Honestly, not really a fan of this card. Now, the thing is, Oladipo, great defense and some pretty good finishing ability, but I just don't feel like his jump shot is really up to par with some of these other guys. I just can't really take him, and I really don't see anybody using him either, so I don't really feel like it's too out of a take. So we're going to throw him down to C tier. I will put him into high C tier, but I just don't think that Victor Oladipo really is all that. He's just lacking a little bit. You know what I mean? A little bit. Next up, Galaxy Opal PG, another easy S tier. I know some people don't like the PG release. It's a little bit inconsistent for them, and I understand that fully, 100%, I get it. But the thing with Paul George, 6'9", 2-guard, and I think that the main inconsistency that people feel with the PG release is off dribble. So if you're going to, throw PG in there at the 2 and at the 3, do a lot of catch and shoot, it's going to be amazing. It's super money. It's super nice. And if you're driving to the basket, he is probably one of the better slashers in the game. And again, 6'9", awesome defense. You gotta love him. PG usually is one of my favorite cards in the entire game, and I really don't think it's that different this year. Absolute beast. Next up, we have a Galaxy Opal Trae Young. And if I'm being honest, if I'm going to take, any of these shorter guys that we got, I definitely would take Trae over John Stockton. Probably Wilt Chamberlain, Tim Duncan. If you forced me to use these guys in D tier or Trae Young, I probably would pick Trae just because I feel like he's decent, but I do still feel like Trae Young belongs into the D tier, and it's just because of how short he is and the fact that he just can't dunk too well. It's a sad fact that we live in, but Trae Young just, he ain't it. He has one of the best jump shots in the game, but he's too short to really compete on his own. Next up, we got Galaxy Opal Kevin Garnett. I feel like it's very similar to Shawn Kemp, so we're going to reflect that and throw him into A tier, sorry. Right next to Shawn Kemp. I feel like they're very similar cards. If you wanted just a budget version of the KG, go ahead and snag, Shawn Kemp. It's different, but I don't think it's that massive of a change that it's really going to kill anything. So we're going to throw him into A tier. Next up, we got Danny Granger, who I honestly really do not like. And that's just because his dribbling animations are probably some of the worst in the game. I'm not feeling him, and I'm going to throw him into C tier. I'm doing a crazy thing, and I'm throwing the old 2K19 God into C tier. Now, I'm going to throw him higher into C tier, just like Victor Oladipo. I think they're going to be in the front. We're going to change all of that once we're done with the list. But I don't think Danny Granger is all that. Next up, we got Lamar Odom. Is everything that Danny Granger wishes he could be. 6'10", some of the best animations of the game. That LA base, which is just beautiful on that half quick draw. It's actually probably one of the most gorgeous things you'll ever see in your life. And it's just an overall super cheesy, super nice card. One that I think everybody should at least give a shot and try on their team. I loved my Lamar Odom. The only reason I sold him is because I didn't want to hold up that 300k MT and toss him out. Absolutely love this Lamar Odom card. Next up, we have Kristaps Porzingis. Is, like I said, I wasn't a massive fan of the pink diamond, and I'm still not a massive fan of the opal, if I'm being real honest about it. Like, I'm really just not I never have been, you know, a big Kristaps guy, and that kind of reflects in the list. You know, he's just really, he's not my style, if I'm being 100% honest. But I do think that Kristaps is still a good card, and I am going to throw him into S tier. I mean, not S tier, A tier. Really solid card. You know, if you can get used to that Michael Beasley base, you know, on the slower 6'10" and up, you know, kind of jump shots, he's there. He's great. But for me personally, I don't think I could throw him into S. Next up, we have Galaxy Opal Luka Doncic, another card that I really feel like fits into the S tier, but we're gonna have to move. We're gonna move these down a little bit here so we can see the top better. I really feel like Luka can be an S tier card when he's in the right hands, but he is a little bit outdated, so we are going to throw Luka here into the A tier. I love this Luka Doncic card, man. Like, seriously, one of my favorite cards in the game. I understand that not too many people like it, but Luka has such a money, clean jump shot, awesome dribbling animations, great defense. Overall, just great card, and one that I really think some people are sleeping on. Also, picked up Alonzo Mourning. I did throw into the Galaxy Opal section because he has that Evo to move into Opal, so we're just going to consider him an Opal. But just like Danny Granger, he's, you know, great stats, great badges, but his animation is just so butt cheeks that I'm not using him, man. Awful jump shot. It's not one that I want to use at all. It's not one that I am willing to use at all, and I'm even tempted to throw him into D tier, but I do feel like, you know, Alonzo Mourning is bad, but just slightly less bad than, you know, this Pink Diamond Tim Duncan or something. So here we are. Next up, we have the Galaxy Opal Dirk Nowitzki, a card that I really do not like, and he's getting his ass in D tier. I'm sorry, Dirk. I honestly love Dirk as a person, usually in 2K, but his release is just so slow. By the time it releases, you have somebody in your face smacking the ball away, and I'm not with it. I'm not with it. Next up, we have a Galaxy Opal Oscar Robertson, who I feel like is a better version of, or a similar version to GP. I feel like maybe a little bit better just because, you know, I mean, it's Oscar Robertson. He's 6'5", and honestly, I've had some tough times ranking him before, but I think I might give him the benefit of the doubt and throw him into S tier. I feel like he's a nice card, fun one to use. So, you know what? We're going to nice him and throw him up into S tier. Next up, we have a Galaxy Opal Allen Iverson going into C tier. And my thing with Allen Iverson is he's like Trae Young, but he has the Trae break base. Really good animations. He can dunk, you know, the ball actually pretty well, shoot the three ball great. Overall, really nice card. It just sucks that he's only 6 foot. You know what I mean? Is what it is. Next up, Galaxy Opal Ben Simmons, who we're going to throw up into S tier. I really don't think anybody's arguing too much with Simmons being an S tier. I mean, come on. 6'10" PG. Gotta love him. As cheesy as he is, he's a great card. Same thing with KD. When I think it comes to the prime players, you know, KD is like this metal. It just feels better, man. Better dribbling animations, just a better jump shot because, you know, they always want to give jump shot 55 to Carmelo, not the Carmelo Anthony jump shot. So we're going to have to take KD and throw him up in S tier. Why not, right? Next up, Galaxy Opal Ray Allen. This one's easy for me. B tier. Ray Allen is just kind of one of those cards where he can shoot three ball great. He can play some good defense. He can, you know, finish the basket pretty well. But 6'5" at the 2 isn't the most amazing or thing that's really going to get me too excited about him. But I really don't think he's, you know, that bad. So we're going to throw him into B. I feel he's a very average card. And then last but not least, the new Prime Series 3 reward at Galaxy Opal Karl Malone. This one is S tier. Now, I'm not going to spend time praising this Karl Malone because, I mean, Karl Malone was a dog meat human person. Like, human being. Was absolutely awful. Look at the stories about him and you'll never want to support him again. But the card is S tier, so we're going to throw him up there. But we don't mess with what Karl Malone's doing behind the scenes. But this is the final rankings not the final rankings, but this is what we got after going through. I'm going to take a few minutes, look through the list again, and rearrange it as I see fit to try to make it a little bit more even. I do feel like in the time speaking, I may have changed my mind on a few things based on who I'm ranking, so I'm going to go through, change this up a little bit, and see where we are. Alright, so we did a little bit of switching around, and here's where we finished it up as moved around all the S tiers. So we got LeBron at number 1, then we got Kawhi and Malone. I think those are the top 3. Nice and easy. You can make some arguments for others, but I think these are pretty solid, at least in your top 5. We did things like we moved the Shawn Kemp down to B tier. Really wasn't failing him once I kind of looked at what we had here. So he did get a nudge down to B. We also nudged guys like Alonzo Mourning down to D tier. Sad day for them, but is what it is. And this is what our final rankings of all the prime players are going to be looking like. Let me know what you guys think about my list down in the comment section below, and where you would have certain people. Give me specific examples of why or where you're going to be moving certain guys. And yeah, let me know what you guys think of it. Like I just said a second ago, I'm repeating myself. Like if you guys did enjoy, subscribe if you guys are new, on the road to 6.7K. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I will see y'all in the next video.